Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another video to talk about my favorite subgenres of metal. And if you've been watching me for a while, you probably have already guessed what my favorite subgenres of metal are. I'm going to go with my top two, right? And it's going to be pretty easy to figure out. My favorite, I guess, is Thrash. That would be my number one pick, and my number two pick, I guess, would be, just straight metal, traditional heavy metal. So, I'm going to talk about these subgenres in a little more detail and maybe why I think they're my top two and kind of go into it. So, I guess my number two pick first, which is traditional metal, which, of course, I think that also includes speed metal, by the way, because traditional metal can be very fast. So I would throw speed metal in there. So, of course, what's traditional heavy metal? Stuff like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Accept, Dio, Saxon, Motorhead, whatever. I'm not going to go on and on and on, but generally, that's what I would consider quote traditional heavy metal or just straight metal. Why is that one of my favorite or one of my second favorite genre of metal? Probably it's a function with that being the second genre of metal I ever got into. Period. Right. Because when I was a newly minted metal fan, I had originally gotten into thrash, and then I wanted to quote go back in time and listen to older heavy metal, and that's pretty much what I chose to focus on was just straight up traditional metal, and I actually fell in love with it. I don't know why. I guess the reason I like it so much is because when you listen to that particular style, you hear where all the other subgenres pretty much got all their influences from, right? Well, really, I mean, I guess we could just say Black Sabbath, but beyond that, listening to Priest, any of those bands, it's just like, yep, okay. I know where this piece goes. I know where this piece goes, where it all leads to, and I think probably the best vocalists tend to be in quote the traditional metal genre, because when you think of the best singers in metal, right, most of them are doing traditional metal, and that's just how it is, right? That's where most of the best vocalists are. As far as like, now I'm gonna make a list of my favorite metal singers, and there's gonna definitely be some non standard singers on there. There's gonna be some guys who do some, there's gonna be some death metal vocalists in there, but when you think of the operatic kind of coming at you, high soaring vocalists, they're going to mostly be in traditional metal. And of course, I like the intricacies of it, and the intricacies versus simplicity and the way it plays off of each other and just really straight ahead. It's just awesome. Gets you pumped. It's the most anthemic. And that's why I like it so damn much. So anyway, now that's out of the way. Let's talk about my favorite subgenre of metal, which of course is thrash metal, right? And that all started because, well, that was the first genre of metal I got into. And, of course, Metallica was the first band. And then after I listened to Metallica, I didn't go to just, I sought out Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer, Overkill, Testament, you get the general gist of it. So I think it's my favorite because, again, you have a lot of those really great vocalists in thrash, right? But with thrash, there is more quote-unquote aggression than with traditional metal, for sure. It tends to be faster, heavy, a little heavier, a little crazier. just a little more on edge, but it's not going into the realm of uh, completely off the rails, right? Because thrash can only be, quote, so extreme, right? Like there's a limit to how crazy the music would get and still be considered thrash, right? It's still rooted in very much just, it's not just traditional metal, but it follows a lot of the same structures and is rooted in a lot of the same musical phrasing and all that. So it just takes it basically to the next level, right? It just ups the ante a bit, and I think really it's kind of the perfect metal genre because it can incorporate so many things, right? I mean, you can bring death metal influences into it a little bit. Hell, I've heard black metal influenced thrash, and that's really awesome. So, you can bring industrial elements. You can bring so much into it, and it still sounds great, and it still just kicks so much ass. So, anyway, I love it. That's it. Those are my favorite subgenres of metal. Of course, I like other ones too. Those aren't the only ones I like. They're just my absolute favorite. So, of course, in the comments below, let me know your favorite subgenres of metal. Why they are, whatever. Anyway, that's it. As always, you guys know what to do. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, live long and prosper. Keep on rocking.